Hello friends, in this video we are going to cover these four features of React 19. Okay, so first I'll go with error handling, then in the same example I'm going to add these three. So till now we have created a project with the help of React and Next.js, but to demo this I'm just using the plain React project because the way how Next.js renders is different, because it will be like a file based system. Okay, so let's see with this application. So we have this application, okay, employee management. So what it do simple is, once we click on the show Suresh, it is showing the employee details of me, and once I click on the show Sarah, so there is some error. I thrown an error. Okay, that's why it is showing something went wrong. I handled it with the help of error boundaries. Okay, so error boundaries is the existing feature. It is nothing like it came in React 19, but if you don't know what error boundaries will do, right, instead of the breaking complete page, we handle this component issue with the help of error boundaries, and it will show something like that. Okay, so let's understand first error boundaries. So what we have done is, this is my app.tsx file. So we have some button Suresh, my id is 1. I created another button show Sarah, its id is 2, and hide employee, I'm just making the employee id as a null, and this is one state we have. Now we added here the error boundary to this component. Okay, which component? Employee detail component. And what is the code written error boundary is, error boundary is currently a class components only. Okay, even we are using a functional component in React, but if you need to write a error boundary, you have to use definitely a class component. Okay, so we created one class component error boundaries, and if the state is having the error, we are showing our custom UI for that error, like something here we are showing something went wrong, like that. So this UI we have created, and how we used it is, if this component is having some issue, with the help of error boundary, it will show the default error code instead of completely breaking it. Let's say if we are not using the error boundary here, right? So let me comment out this code. So what happens in that case is, let me reload it. Okay, so show Suresh is working fine, but once we click on the show Sarah, right, the complete page got due to error got blocked, right? So to avoid that, what we used to do is we use error boundaries. Up to here it is clear, and this is the existing features. It is nothing new, something related to React 19. Okay, now what React 19 did now is, it does not move this class component or replace this error boundaries with hook or something, right? New hooks. If nothing happened in React 19, something like that. Instead, what React 19 did is, for us is, they given us these three methods: onCaughtError, onUncaughtError, and onRecoverableError. Okay, these three methods will execute when the components load. Okay, how we need to use this method is, in React main.tsx is our initial file, right, which will load our main component in strict mode. Okay, this is our standard code. I just commented out that one. Instead of that one, simply what you can do, when you are rendering your root, what we'll do, we are taking our from index.html, we have this id root, right? In main.tsx, to that root we are adding our component, correct? As it's a single page application, everything is same. So these are the new methods given by React 19.2 now. Okay, I think it's from React 19 only, not 19.2. Here you can catch the errors directly. Okay, so let's say when onCaughtError will execute, let's say you return the error boundaries. Okay, so simply let's see, I created just a console.log here errors and which component here it is. Okay, so I created a log for all these three cases. onCaughtError will execute when, let me reload it, show Suresh, so there is no error. Okay, once I click on show Sarah, okay, intentionally I made it error here. How I made it error here intentionally? In this employee details component, I return if id equal to 2, throw this error. Okay, because of this error it cached into error boundaries. So main thing is the errors which are caught by error boundaries, will be catched with the help of onCaughtError. Okay, so you can see in main.tsx we can able to see the same error. Okay, this is my error, caught error, right? And where it will be like this is the component. Clear? So we are able to catch it. So this is what the first one. Okay, onCaughtError. There are some chances, sometimes let's say you did not created any error boundaries. Okay, so where we are using in our app.tsx file, I am just commenting out this code. Okay, I don't have any error boundaries. Got it? Now in this case, let me reload again, and when this shows Sara, right, you can see it still catch onCaughtError, right? So line number 25 and 26. In this case, in your main.tsx root file, this came. So when you are not using the error boundaries, okay, when you are not using the error boundaries in application, still you can handle with the help of onUncaughtError. Okay, so errors which are caught by error boundaries will be logged here. Errors which are not caught by any of the like error boundaries and all, then any kind of error will come here then. Okay, so that is what you can see here, and you can handle it according to here if you want to do some operations or something loggers. Okay, the third thing is onRecoverableError they provided. What this will do is sometimes React is able to handle let's say while rendering, right, it found some warning or some error which React recovered automatically. Still for a warning you can add those logs here. Okay, so it will still it is recovered by React, and that's why we say onRecoverableError, it will log your things. Okay, so these are nothing but the new features, new methods provided by React19 to handle the errors. Okay, so now we understood what is this error handling, and even we discussed bit on the error boundaries. Now let's discuss what is this metadata styles in script. Okay, so where we will write our metadata style scripts currently in index.html. In our HTML pages we used to write this, correct? Now let's say if you go to some component, employee details component, okay, you can now with the help of this new feature, this is my component, employee details component, right? This which is this component, employee detail component. Here you can update this title and this meta tags. Okay, so once I clicked here, okay, show Sara, reload it. So show Suresh. So you observed here, right, it is showing Suresh employee, which is this title. Okay, this title, it's got updated for this when this components load. If I do with show Sara, right, because we did not handle here error handling. Let me comment it out, uncommented code also for us. So you can see it is when we click on the show Sara, or if it is default, right, it is showing the React19 features. Okay, this title. But if we click on the show Suresh, it is saying Suresh employee, correct? So what we did here is, for the component we are able to update the title in metadata. Okay, and with this new feature, even you can apply the style. So only for this component, when we click on the show Suresh or show Sara, this employee detail is one component. So I am loading my CSS file here. Okay, so I kept this one in a public. Okay, this employee.css file for the employee card, and I am using that one here. Okay, I loading this employee .css file for this component, and using it employee card, and that's why we are seeing this border and all. Okay, so this is your second feature, which is the styles updating. Okay, and similarly you can see we can do the same thing with the scripts. Okay, so asynchronous script, so we need to add it as async. What it will do is, even your HTML is rendering, this will also execute parallelly. Okay, so to verify in this analytics.js file, what I'm doing is just I'm putting some console.log. Okay, so when this component is rendering, at that time this script will be loaded and you will see these logs. Okay, let's see this as well. So I'm reloading it. So here there is nothing logs, but once we load this component, you can see the script got loaded. Okay, so this is what we have these features. Okay, metadata, styles and scripts we can load for the components. Another thing is, what React handles is, right, let's say this component is handled multiple times, right, this employee component details rendered multiple times. It is nothing like that many times it will do this links scripts loaded in your bundle. It won't do like that. So it will be only single time. So React will manage all those things for us. So just high level we will this is very easy, we understood it. And error handling, just we will revise it. So these are the three methods we got now. So onCaughtError execute when an error boundary catches the error. Okay, we have seen the same example. And if nobody catches, we will get this one is on onCaughtError. And onRecoverableError is when React encounters a problem but it is able to recover. So still we can see the warnings and logs if we want to do that one. Okay, and React encourages function, component and hooks. So we know, right, we what with the React latest they used to say to use the functional component. Class components is kind of not deprecated, but it's not preferable, right? So but error boundaries, we know still we are using as a class component, correct? So what they are saying is React19 does not replace error boundaries with a hook. So we did not have any new hooks and all, but instead they given as a root level callbacks. So these callbacks methods they given to us, okay, which we will do while rendering the root itself, while creating the root itself, which will we can have the logs here. Okay, so that is what all these 4 features. Please subscribe the channel if you liked it. Thank you.